Hey guys, it's Lindsay. Welcome to my channel where I share all things about homeschool on here. If you guys are new, I'm a homeschool mom to two. I have a son in kindergarten, a daughter in second grade, and in today's video, I'm going to share with you guys about our homeschool schedule, our routine, our rhythm for the seasons, and like a block schedule and how I use that on my phone for my Google Gmail. So it's really, not Google Gmail, Google Calendar. I want to share with you guys a very simple way of looking at your week and giving you the flow that I have. And a lot of you guys ask, how long does it take to do this? How long does it take to do that? So I've been kind of thinking about it as I'm doing school with my kids because I never really time anything, and I just kind of just go through my day and do my thing. So I'm going to share with you guys a very detailed, like weekly homeschool routine that we have. And now a lot of you guys have 5 kids. A lot of you guys might have 1 kid or a kid in preschool or a kid in second grade. So remember that my son's in kindergarten, my daughter's in second grade. So their workload might not be as much as your kids, or your kids might just be in preschool. So don't like try to do the same thing that I'm doing. I hope this video just gives you guys like ideas. So I'm going to share with you guys typically what we do on a day where we are staying at home. On a Monday, for instance, those are our days that we usually stay at home. That's the day where I like to get a lot of stuff done, housework and schoolwork. It's like the heavy load of the week. I wouldn't say it's structure where I'm like bam, and we have to do this and that, but it's just where I like to get my laundry done. I might do like 2 or 3 loads of laundry. I like to do the dishes. I like to like clean up my house and vacuum and do a couple things throughout the day while my kids are playing. So this is how it works. This is like normal homeschool schedule and not quarantine schedule, because our schedules are a lot later now. But from 7 to I would say 9:30 is our morning time where the kids get up, get dressed, they brush their teeth or make their beds. Sometimes we stay in our pajamas. Sometimes I like to stay in my pajamas. So we do that, and then we come downstairs and I make breakfast for them. I usually just have my coffee. I don't eat breakfast with them because it's just too much. I just make their simple breakfast, as simple as I possibly can. And then I have my coffee, and we sit down at our dining room table and we do our morning basket, which can consist of something really simple, like just reading a devotional. Those are the days that I'm like, trying to get out of the house, where we do something simple, or we'll read a Bible devotional, and then we'll read some poems and like a picture book. It depends on like what we do in our morning baskets and what season it is. If we're doing a unit study, if we do a unit study, like I did like a Laura Ingalls unit study, I read some books from that collection that I had in our morning basket that morning, and so that's what I do. We also incorporate poetry tea time, which is like once every 2 weeks or so, where we just use whatever desserts we had the night before, and we make it fun, and we get to have dessert in the morning. My kids love that, and we have tea. And I just bring out all of our poetry books. My daughter grabs some of her favorite poems and reads them. I read some, and then sometimes my son likes to do some of the nursery rhymes that he's memorized, since he's not reading really well yet. So we do that. That is so simple and so fun, and it doesn't have to be fancy. You can make it fancy, but it could be really simple as well. So that's what we do like once every 2 weeks. I try to do that. Lately I've been trying to do it once a week. So just keep it simple. You'll do it a little bit more. If it's more fancier, you're less likely to do it because it's more stress. But if you want to see what I have in my morning baskets, I will do like I'll try to put a playlist together of my morning baskets. And there's one video I did where I shared with you guys like what I try to get into my morning baskets. So sometimes throughout the year they're more heavier on like certain books and electives and art and stuff, and then other times I just kind of like at the end of the year we read our Bible, we read poetry, and we're done. But other times I like to incorporate like art and world culture from children just like me around the world, and other things like Spanish, things like that. All right, so after our morning basket and our breakfast, we clean up, I'll do the dishes, the kids will go ahead and play, they'll take a little break, and I'll let them play for a while so I can have my own time. I might have my breakfast, drink a little bit of my old coffee, and then I will try to bring them back in, and then I ask them who wants to go first with mom, and then maybe my daughter will say, I want to go first. Okay, so I'll do her language arts with her, which really takes more time on my part to like talk to her about a new concept. She'll have to write down sentences I'm dictating to her or spelling words, and then we'll go over some of the lesson. My son can play, or sometimes I'll have him do handwriting because he could do handwriting independently from The Good and the Beautiful. and then he draws a little bit if he wants to. And that happens once in a while. Most of the time he's playing, let's just be honest. And then after that, I will take my son and we will do our reading lesson, and we'll sit on the couch, we'll be comfy, we'll read the reading lesson book. It might take 10 minutes, it might take 15 minutes. It's not really that long. Other days I'll have him read a book to me, and that's what we do for that. Sometimes when we don't do the reading lesson, which is mostly every day, we're trying to do it because that's his goal, to like finish up a chapter. He actually got an RC car the other day because he finished a whole chapter and he was focused on doing a lesson every day, and he did really well. And so it's fun to reward him for like the things that he does. He got super excited and he's getting excited about reading, so we did that. But I'll typically do reading lessons every day of the week, and then sometimes we don't do that. We'll just do Explode the Code for him, and then some of that consists of reading and writing and phonics. So we will do that. So those are the things that I'll do with him. And then I will work with my daughter on her math while my son's playing, and then I'll try to finish math with him. I typically do math with him 3 to 4 times out of the week. And then my daughter, we try to do math every day of the week, at least 4 times a week. And that's how it goes. I kind of juggle in between the kids. Now, you guys might have more kids than me, so you might have to have one on teaching textbooks where they're doing it online and they're older, they can be more independent, and then you might have a preschooler where they can play while you're working with your middle child. So it all depends on, your family dynamics and how many kids you have and how old they are and all that stuff. So that is what we do for our independent studies. And then sometimes during that time I will read a book if we're trying to read a book for history, or if we have a book that we've been wanting to finish up, I'll do that. Lately we've been reading at different times. And then when it comes to, so that's our independent block. And then our other block is our lunchtime block, where we do our read out loud. We have been listening to the Little House on the Prairie series forever. And so we are on the Little Town on the Prairie. I think that's what it's called. And so we listen to that on hoopla.com. It's just a library, digital library. And we've been listening to it on audio so I can have my lunch with them. We just sit down, relax, and listen to it. And sometimes we'll read 1 chapter. Sometimes we'll read or listen to a half of a chapter, or it just depends on what mood we're in. If we want to listen to a few chapters or just a little bit of it and then just talk, sometimes it's just fun just to chat. And then after lunch, we typically just finish up whatever we haven't finished. Most of the time my kindergartner is done by then, but if there's something I want to really do with him, let's say he didn't do his reading, I think it's really important for him to be consistent with that because he's really progressing a lot. So I will do reading with him at that time. If we don't finish it, let's say he plays all morning long, I try to get the things that I really want him to do done then, and it just takes a little bit of time. And then with my second grader, she might have a paper that she's writing for co-op on Mondays typically, and if she doesn't finish it, she needs to finish it then. So talking about co-op, we usually have them on Tuesdays, but we're doing it all virtual. So on Tuesdays we have our co-op, and that is a very good big chunk of the morning and afternoon. So it's pretty much most of our day. It's our school day. So on Tuesdays, since we have co-ops, I'll tell you the schedule. We just do our morning time routine without our morning basket. We just eat breakfast and we try to get out of the house as fast as we can. So we get out of the house, we go to the library and do our co-op, and they do Latin classes and phonics and science STEM classes. So, and that's where they're also doing their presentation, where they read their paper that they wrote about that week. And so that is what they do. And then after we come home from co-op, they just read all their books that they got from the library, or they get audiobooks from the library, which are really, really amazing. I'll try to link them up above. They're these new books that they actually just press a little button and it reads it out loud to them, like chapter books or picture books. So they either read books, or once in a while I'll try to make sure they do math because we didn't do math that day. But if we don't do math, that's okay. Wednesdays are like a typical stay-at-home homeschool day. We might do some errands and go out and about. Oh, I miss those days. And then Thursdays are a little bit lighter. We'll do light homeschooling. We might work on a specific thing if we're doing a unit study during that time, where we're focusing on history or we're focusing on science. But those days I'll do math and language and our morning baskets. And then Fridays are the same thing. We have the same schedule as Mondays, but it's going to be a little bit later. So Thursdays and Fridays are our lighter days. Some Thursdays they go to their grandma's house. So it all depends, and then I get a little break, which is awesome. But some, let's say every other Thursday, they might go to their grandma's house. That'll be a day that I might do YouTube videos and I edit. But that's how I try to do our week. And then as far as like the blocks, like I said, I put in my my calendar on Google like the morning time from like 7 to 9:30, and then from 9:30 to 11:30 we have our independent work, and then from let's say 11:30 to like 2 o'clock we'll have our read out loud time. Sometimes I read with my daughter. We've been having our own book club lately during quarantine where her and I read 3 times out of the week together, one of our favorite book series that we've been reading, so we might do that after lunch. And so after lunch is pretty much finishing up whatever work we didn't get finished, and then they can play and do whatever. Usually we go out and do stuff or go to the park, but we can't do that now. So that is what typically we do on a weekly basis. And when it comes to like seasons, like the fall when we first start school is really heavy on our new curriculum. We're super excited about it, so we like do as much as we can, and that is more of our like structured time. I wouldn't really call it structured, but like we're like more consistent. And then the winter comes along and we have slower seasons where we are celebrating Hanukkah and Christmas, and we have time with our family, and my husband's off of work, and that is the time where it's just like we don't unschool, but it's just more of like a relaxed learning. We still do our math and language and we get things done. And then during vacation, my husband comes home and we don't really do anything but doing like read out louds where I read them books. I think it's important just to continue with the books during like our wintertime vacations, a couple of weeks where he takes off, and then I'll just read lots of books to the kids. So after the winter time, we get back in the groove of things. We need to finish up some math and language, and I really want to make sure we're progressing nicely and at least try to finish up the year strong. So that will be like this time that we're in right now, where I get like kind of more heavier workload in the fall, heavier workload in the spring, and then after the spring is over, like at the end of, actually in the middle of May, we'll be done with school. So most of the time we end in May, and then June we try to take off. We still do a little bit of school depending upon what I want to do. We might do like a unit study like this year. I'll share that with you guys soon. But it'll just be like they'll work on a little bit of math and we'll do lots of reading. In the summertime, like I said, we usually like they do VBS maybe, or we'll have our cousin in town and we'll just relax and have fun. And then we get back to school in at the end of July. We go back to school, and so we're pretty much schooling year round, if you want to call it that, where we take a little bit of break in June. So that is our rhythm of the year. That is the weekly schedule. If any of you guys have a schedule or routine that you want to share in the comments down below, please share with us. I would love to hear it. I love hearing how others do their school, especially if you have a bigger family or smaller family, or if your kids are older, if you have younger kids. I think it's very helpful to like talk to each other down below in the comments. If you guys are new to my channel and you guys have been watching my video all the way to the end, congratulations, it's a long video. I hope you guys join Mama Shmoo's Homeschool Reviews, and I'll love to see you in my next video. Stay tuned for some more videos to come, for our planning videos and our curriculum videos, which I'm so excited about. I will see you guys soon. Bye guys.